Hello everyone, it's Pam here with Tattered Paper and Lace, and I welcome you to my channel. Today we are on we're on the letter W for the ABC April 2025 challenge. So it's almost over. We're on W, and if you'll go to this hashtag, you can see what others are doing for the letter W. So what I am doing today is wax seals. I understand that most everybody is familiar with how to do a wax seal. I did hot glue seals for the letter H, and today I'm using wax. And what I want to show you is how to make, let me slide my stuff over so I don't burn my book. I want to show you how to make this. This is a wax seal gem clip, paper clip. So here's your wax seal, and I have it attached to a paper clip. So I just wanted to show you how to do that. But first, I'm just gonna make one wax seal, well, one or two. That, just so you know, so I have gold wax in here already, and to make one that is modeled like this, and this is gold and black mixed together, and actually I'm not sure that's actually gold in there, because it might be this. Let me show you. It might be this color rather than a metallic gold, but it will still work, and it'll still give us a look, and that's really all we're after here. So I'm just going to drop in a couple of pieces of black wax just right in there. I'm going to let that melt without stirring it, because the way you get, and this might have even been copper, which is here. Let's see. No, I think it was the gold. When you put your wax in and you want to have it not be all mixed together, you don't really stir it together. I take my toothpick, do it with a toothpick, and I may swirl it one time just to kind of get it in a mottled, marbly sort of look. And then I will pour out my wax seals, pour it out, and then it'll be mixed. And I want this particular, this was a really grungy journal it's in, and I wanted this to look as grungy. I love this B, which is this seal. And I got this from Amazon, and I think it cost me $10 from Amazon. That was several years ago. I also have a metallic piece of paper that I cut a 1 1/4 inch circle out of, which is what size this seal turns out to be, with the extra wax around the outside after the seal. You know, when you put the seal down, it squishes out. So 1 1/4 inch, you'll need that. You'll need your gem clip, which I forgot to get, or paper clip. And I like to use rusted paper clips. So I have a whole bunch of rusted paper clips. So once again, I'm going to use another rusted paper clip. But you don't have to. You can use any paper clip. And if you're using a smaller seal, such as this one, which is a good bit smaller than, here's the same one, same size as the B, which is a good bit smaller. As a matter of fact, let's see, because I'll need to punch a hole for that, punch a circle for that as well if I want to make another. Let's get one that's more round, like this. Okay, and this is a 1 inch circle. So I need to get my 1 inch punch so that I can show you. And it's very simple. So I make wax seals ahead. when I'm doing wax, I just do a bunch of them. And I put them in a pill bottle. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I have, all of these are wax seals that I just stack up in this pill bottle. And I have another one that's like this. And it's just all different ones, all different colors. And when I need a wax seal, whoops, I didn't mean to move the camera, sorry. When I need a wax seal, I can just go there and grab one. And I glue it on wherever I need for it to be. So let's see. So I've got my 1-inch punch. I've got the 1 1/4 inch punch, which I shouldn't need because I already have my circles here for that. And now the wax is pretty much melted. So I'm just going to stir it one time like that. And then I do not do the wax seal over the gem clip. That wouldn't work because you wouldn't be able to work the paper clip then. But then I just pour it out, just like so. Let's do a little bit more over here. Make it as round as you can. And that one's going to be a little bit big. Could have poured a little bit more wax than I probably should have. Then I just set this on here. We're doing the bee again. And I just let it rest and let the weight of the seal, I don't push on it. I just let the weight of the seal determine how deep it goes. And this one you can see, which I don't mind. I don't mind. This one is going to be a little more irregular around the edge. And it's going to be a little bit bigger than this one. Again, I do not mind that. So we're going to do that. And then I'm really not going to do, I do have some wax left. So I have a little seal. Let's see. I think I have some little tiny ones that I might have enough wax to do one of the little ones. If I can find one of them. Here it is. Here's one. It's a rose. So we'll do a black rose. See, this one's a lot smaller. And this one is the medium size. And then the bee is the large one. And I have a couple of large ones, but not very many. So I'm basically going to just pour out the rest of my wax. And hopefully that's enough to make this. And then I will take this out, blow out my candle. And then I take a napkin, and while the wax is hot, so you gotta be careful, but I just wipe it out with a napkin or a Kleenex tissue, just something. But you've got to be careful with that, and you want to make sure either you put on heat-resistant gloves. But I usually just have a wad of the Kleenex in it. I've not burnt myself yet. Knock on wood. I didn't burn myself that time either. And then when you wipe it out before it dries, or if you let it dry in there, then you'll have it to use the next time, which is fine, but then it's going to be that color. So if you don't want it to be that color and want to do a new color, then that's what you got to do. Okay, move that aside, and those are hot. And I'm going to leave these laying here because we're going to make some gem clips or paper clips out of these as well. Now, I've not tried it. Actually, this is the only one I've ever made, but it was so easy that I'm sure I can make another one. So you can use this size clip, and this is just a gold one, and I think I'm going to use that on here like that, I think. So we'll do that in a minute. But right now, I think this one is ready. And there we are. There is our wax seal. I don't know if you can see the design very well, but that's what we're going to work with right now. So what we do is, and you will know, I know you know, that when you put on a paper clip on your paper, I always put the biggest end toward me and the smaller end goes to the back. So you want this your seal to be on the front, the biggest side of your, that's where you want it to show, is on the biggest side of your paper clip. And on this one, see how much bigger this one, I made this one, I poured out a lot more wax. And I actually don't like the gold with the black as well as I do the metallic gold with the black. But we're going to go with it. It's fine. And so I put the paper clip. It's going to go. So you got to decide also if it's a directional wax seal like this is. I did this so that it went on the side of something. If you did, and that makes it be straight up, you know, looking at you in the right direction. If you made it be top side, then you would have turned your seal so that the B would have been straight up and down this way. So you have to decide if it's directional, whether you care if it's upside down, sideways, or whatever, or if you want it to have a certain direction. So you make that decision first. Now let's take this one. Okay, so now we have this little one to work with. Oh, that one made a stain. Okay. So what you do is decide what direction you want it in. I'm going to make this one in the same direction that this one is in, which will go on the side of a page in my journal. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my wax seal upside down. This is the right way up, so I'm just going to flip it over and lay it down. And then I'm going to lay my paper clip on top and put it where I want it to be. And if, like this one, you know, let's see if this makes a difference. Sometimes they clip better one way or the other, and this one does not. So then we're going to lay that there, just like that. Then I'm going to get my circle that's pre-punched. That's the 1/4 inch. I want it to be between the 2 layers of the paper clip, okay? And I want to glue on the big side down. So we're just going to take some glue, and I just use art glitter glue. Works fine, never had a problem. And I've made, I glue with art glitter glue on these wax seals wherever, and this one was done with art glitter glue. So now let's go back and make sure you understand. This is the correct way up for this seal. I just flipped it over and laid it down. I took my punched circle that is roughly the size of this, and I just put it in between the 2 layers of the gem clip, or the paper clip. I keep calling it gem clip because that's what we called it growing up. With the small side up and the large side is down. Okay, so now we're going to flip this and put glue all over the back of the large size. Just all over the gem clip, over the paper clip, in between, just a good amount of glue. You don't want to use too thick a paper. This is cardstock, so it's a good little weight, but not terribly heavy weight. It's probably 60 pound, I guess, probably. Okay, then we're going to just push this down, and I like to push it down in between the prongs of the paper clip as well. You also can use Fabri-Tac. Me and Fabri-Tac, we don't get along too well, so I don't use it very often. But I just make it indent it where the paper clip is, and then we need to hold it down. So let me get some clips to hold this down while it dries a little bit. Let's do one a little bit longer. And it's already beginning to hold. Does not take long. And I've never had any problems with it coming loose. I want to make sure I get it stuck down good in between here. So what you have is the big part is now going to be glued to your wax seal by way of this cardboard circle. Okay, and that's how you make this. And this one's going to go in sideways like this. I'll make another one. Let's make one like this. I'm going to try it on a little paper clip. I don't know if it'll work. I have some rusted little ones, but I'm going to go ahead and use a gold one on this. And I'm going to make a clip from the top so you can see the difference there. While we wait for this to dry, we will move on to that. So I've got, let me get a little piece of paper. I think I have some sort of gold color. Yeah, I have a metallic gold right here. This is just shimmer cardstock. And I take this and I will do, and this was a 1 inch, so I'm going to do a 1 inch circle right here. Just going to punch that. Okay. And of course, I want the gold side to show. You also could do it in a red. Like this one is red if you wanted it to be, you don't see it until you take out the, until you take the paper clip off. But you could do, let's see if I have one that's the right color. The reason I wasn't doing red is because I wasn't sure I had the right color. I don't think I do. But anyway, so I'm going to do gold. And this is a little flower with a bow. And this is the right way up. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to put my gem clip where it will need to be, right there. Because this one's going to clip from the top. I'm going to take my circle, my 1 inch circle. I can throw a little ink around it if I want to. You don't want that white. I don't think it'll show. The white I don't think will show. But if you wanted to make sure, you could do that. Put this on here so that the little part, the smallest part of the gem clip is on top. The largest part of the gem clip is on the bottom. And center it on your circle best you can. And then we again will just glue that right on with our art glitter glue. Other people may have done this. I don't know. I've not seen anybody else doing it, but who knows? I don't know. There could be some other people that have done them. So I'm just going to put glue on the gem clip or the paper clip and on the circle, a generous amount. And then I'm going to do this one up and down because this is the top of my wax seal. And I want to be able to clip this one from the top. So again, we put it down. I take my bone folder and make sure that I have it all in between the wire of the paper clip so that it's all flat as I can get it. Like I said, I've not done one this size, so we'll see how it works. We'll see how it does. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work, but we'll see. And my circle is not in the center. I need to move it just a little bit. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Okay, so let's get this down and get this side down. And let's get this down. And all of this, I'm going to do it with this part so I can do the whole section. And mash it down. Mash this down. Just working around, getting all the parts down, as much contact, get the circle with as much contact to the wax seal as you can. So that, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know how this is working. I've not done it with, with this size before. And so it's a little harder to get that to be down, and my circle tore a little bit because you see it's tight in there. But I don't care. I think that's fine. And I think that will work. Let's just double check. Should go down from the top. Yep. Oop, nope, it didn't stay. That's, you know why? I know why. Why didn't it stay? Because this is not sticking out far enough. I think that might be why. Let's try it again. So let me, because it's still sticky, so I think I just didn't let it dry enough. So I may have to, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna cut around that just a little bit so it doesn't cover up the larger part as much, because that I think might be the problem. Like I said, this is my first time on this size. Okay, so see that you have a little bit more of the, I don't know if that's going to help or not. It probably will help if I let it dry. So let's put some clips on this one and see how it does. The other one should be dry enough by now. I'm going to use these clips for this. Okay. And you really need this little bit to stick down. So let me hold that for just a few minutes. It's easier. I think it will be easier. I think it will work better with the bigger clip, with the jumbo clips. Now, with the jumbo clips, you are going to have this part of the paper clip sticking out. I don't mind that. On the little ones, as you see, you won't have much sticking out. And so if you don't want much sticking out, then, and when you have this on your paper, that's what it looks like. And so I don't mind that. You could actually hang a dangle or something off of that if you wanted to. Okay. Let's let that one dry for a little bit, and we'll look at this one. Let me put my glue back up. Don't want it stopping up. Okay. Now let's take this off. And that looks like it did pretty good. Let's try it and see. And there you are. So you have a paper clip with a wax seal. And so now, let's see what we think about this one. Maybe it's been on there enough. Should we do another one? Do you want to do the heart? Shall we? No, let's do the leaf. I think I want to do the leaf. Kind of, I think this was metallic gold with a little bit of red, and it was mixed up together. So that's how that turned out. This one I didn't like as well, because I like the metallic. And I put a little bit too much black in it for my taste. But something we can do, let's do this. Let's do this before I move on to the next thing. Is I have these metallic pens that are to color. They're made to color on the wax. Let's do that a little bit. See what we think about that. And I'm just going to do the bee so that it stands out a little more. Let's do his little legs. There. Does he stand out more now? A little bit. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. There. Okay, so that makes him stand out a little bit more. I put a little bit more on there. Any permanent marker, doesn't have to be these. Can be any permanent marker, which I think are alcohol-based markers, will work. This is what I have, metallic color pen. Oh no, these are water-based. Okay. So I got them from Amazon. Don't remember how much they were. I got them a long time ago. Okay, so here's that one. Compared to this one, you can see I used a lot more wax. So the less wax you use, the smaller your seal would be, but make sure you do enough wax to cover the base of your seal. And you get a feel for that the more you do it. Okay, so there's those. Now, let's see what happened to the one I was working on. Where'd I put it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so this one should now be dry. And let's see now how it will work. And there you go. And it's just supposed to go at the top. Okay, so that's how. Now, when you're putting this one on, this one is more obvious because you can see both ends of the paper clip. This one you cannot see both ends of the paper clip, so you need to make sure when you put it on. That's what happened last time, is I didn't make sure, I didn't make sure that I had it under just the little part, like that. And then this goes at the top. So it does work with a little one as well. It's a little harder to put it on your project, but it still works. Yeah, that works. I like that too. Shall we make another? I want to make one with that. So let me see if I have some sort of paper that would be similar to that color. Let me take it over here. Doesn't have to be exact, just something similar in color. I think I'll do that. Let's see. I've got that. Just pretty close. Yeah, I think I'll do that. And this one, I believe, let's measure. And for some reason, I like for these to go in on the side. I don't know why that is exactly, but I seem to like that better. Yep, that sticks. That holds just fine. We just got to let it dry. Okay, so I'm going to use this color, and I'm going to use, again, a rusted paper clip. I have some rusted little ones, too, I think, somewhere. I like using the bigger ones better, but if you want mostly the seal to show, then you need to use a little one. And I'm not opposed to doing that, like I said, but anyway, I'm going to do this with a rusted paper clip again. And I was measuring my circle. Let's see. I think it's going to be that 1 1/4 inch again. Get my ruler and see. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be exactly the size. It can be a little smaller, but we're going to do the 1/4. And I have my creative memories, and this is the 1/4 size. So let me get that punched. And this is a little bit lighter cardstock, so we'll see how that works. I have to stand up, and I have to push it with my hands because my hands aren't strong enough to do it otherwise. And there we go. Okay. So this is a little bit big because this is not, I didn't get this in a perfect circle. So we're going to cut it down a little bit. And I'll do my best to cut it in a somewhat reasonable circle. The 1 inch might have been big enough to do it. I don't know. Again, this doesn't matter as much because that's a reasonable facsimile. So that's probably the same size as the 1 inch. The 1 inch would have worked. Yep. That'll work, I think. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. Again, I'm going to put it from the side. So it's a maple leaf. I want it to be this way, slid on the piece of paper. So I am going to take it and I'm going to turn it upside down like this. And then I am going to take my little circle with the colored side up because it's white on the other side. I'll take a little bit of a little bit of ink to the edge just to keep from seeing the white. And that's just, I just used enough just for what was on the thing. Now this, I'll put up here. Now this, you're gonna be able to, you're gonna have to position this because this is not exactly the same side. You don't want your paper clip to go beyond your wax seal. You see, I don't have it all the way to the edge. So you want to make sure that you have a little bit of space. And so since this circle is smaller, I'm going to not push it all the way up, but I'm going to push it so that it's basically centered on this. The other thing that I will do, because the circle was almost perfectly as big as the thing, although this one is not, as you can see. I will put a little bit of glue under this part of the paper clip as well. So, I didn't do that right. I was about to do this wrong because you want the big part down, little part up. And you want to put this in between the big and the little part. And I want this to go like this. And you can let that stick up if you want to. I don't want it to. So I want my circle to be basically in the middle. So I'm going to, let's see. Is that going to be about right? I think so. Let me turn that back over and make sure. Not quite. It's going to be about like that. So I take this, I'm going to turn it straight over like that. This is the top. I'm going to take this and put it right there, positioning that dot, your cardstock, so that it is, and then I'm going to put glue. Let's make that be a little bit down there. There we go, like that. Make sure I have that right, yes. Okay, then we're going to put this on. For some reason, I can't seem to get this in the center of this, so that my gem clip, my paper clip, will be basically in the center of my image. Okay, now we'll put the glue on. Hopefully I got that right. If not, we'll just deal with it. So I'm putting some glue on this tip up here that is not covered. Well, maybe it is covered. I moved it up enough to be covered. Okay, that works. Did I get it all on the inside? Yeah. So we'll just put this down, just like that, just like we did the others. And let's make sure that it is all down good and flat. Squeeze that glue out of there. Here's my paper, my napkin. Dab that glue off. Won't matter if it's there, you're not going to see it. And then let's make sure we got this in the middle. You can use any kind of tool, just a blunt tool, not a sharp tool, to push this down. Can you use your fingers too, for that matter. Okay, that's good. So let's use this, and let's use this. Let's do this one. Get up there a little closer to it, and then we'll let that dry. And it'll go in the side like that. Yep, I got that right. Okay, we'll let that dry. So that is, I've got all these different I went kind of crazy with choosing seals. I have a whole bunch of them. All different kinds, all different colors. And then I had a friend who, he's an auctioneer, and he was hired to close a party shop, you know, that had invitations and cards and all kinds of things. And so all of these round sticks of wax, which is supposed to go in a glue gun, I cut them up so that I have little pellets like this and like this. Cut them all up. And so I have every color in the world. He gave me all of them. And so now I will never need any more wax for making seals. And then I also had bought, before I even knew I was going to get that, I had bought a package from Amazon like this of wax seals. So I have every color imaginable. Then I bought this from Hobby Lobby for 99 cents for this color, which was a color I did not have exactly like. I have a metallic one like this, and this one is sort of that same color, but not exact. This one is sort of that same color, not exact. So I thought for 99 cents, I'll get it. And also, I purchased this little silicone mat to put the wax seals on, to pour them on. I don't mind pouring them on this, or I could set my my little pot, my little heat pot on this. It's about the right size to sit on there with my candle underneath, so that I'm not, don't have this straight to my table. So we don't want to do that. But I also can pour the wax seals onto that. That just was pretty, and it was a pretty color. I don't remember how much it was. It was not expensive. But I also have marble coasters and I wanted to use the marble to pour the wax out on. I didn't do it this time because it was going to be a little harder to get everything in camera. So I didn't use that, but this stays cool. It's like when they do fudge on marble so that it cools quicker. Your wax will cool quicker. So you'll have to pour and then put the stamp right on if you're going to use a marble. But I just thought the marble would be a nice thing to try. And I got those inexpensive, I think at the Goodwill or somewhere. I have 4 of them. I also have a big, thick marble thing. You're going to think I've gone crazy. And I guess maybe I have, because I also found that, which is also marble, at the Goodwill. And I also have this. That's huge. This one is very wide. See how wide, how deep it is? It's probably 1.5 inches. And it's big. It's heavy. But that's also one I could use. So anyway, I found those all at different times, and they were all inexpensive. And I said, it's fine. We'll try it. So those are in there. Okay, the glue should be dry enough on this one. And hopefully I answered any questions you might have about wax seals. If you're not familiar, they're very, very easy to do. So I thought I'd show you how to do a gem clip, paper clip. Okay, so here is this paper clip. So we have this and this and this that we made. And see, this one, it's what I don't like, the little ones. You gotta, because you can't just, well, you might could. Let's see if you can. Yeah, you can. Once you've got it trained, you can. So we have made these clips, and that was my original one. So I appreciate you coming along. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe got a little inspiration, and go and make yourself some paper clips with your wax seals. Do the wax seal on a silicone mat on something that will not burn, and then glue it onto your paper clip. You cannot just pour your wax seal over the paper clip, because it will go on this part as well, and then you won't be able to slide it onto a piece of paper. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've just found me, thank you for coming. If you have been here before, welcome back. If you like what you see, hit the like button. And if you would like to see further videos from me, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you will get further videos from me. I appreciate you coming along, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.